So if you are not able to, please go through it once. Okay, so that's very, very important. You need to know the major difference between 12.1 and 12.2. As I said, many of the companies still learn 12. Is there sound? Mohit, are you able to hear me? Fine, fine. Ashik, I think you have to look into your speaker. Can you please check once? Sure. Are you fine now, Ashik? Yeah. So today we are going to discuss about online patching overview and its features, how it is going to work. Okay, and also I'll explain about the difference between this online patching and maintenance mode. Okay, so there is something called maintenance mode in 12.1. Okay, so it's a part of AD utility, AD admin. In AD admin, there is a feature maintenance mode. Okay, that was taken off in 12.2 88 minutes. So why maintenance mode has been introduced on prior versions and all. Okay, so I mean why they have taken off here. So this and all we will discuss today. All right. You see the objective is explain online patching, its implementation, and its the patching cycle. Okay, there is a cycle basically. So, and in that cycle, there are individual steps. So, which one? How do we follow, and one after one, and what are the commands we would be using? Okay, these are all some options basically. Okay, so which parameter we would be using on what stage, that and all we are going to discuss. Okay. So, introduction to the online patching. So, RTE Business Suite release 12.2 introduces online patching with the following key features. Majority of the patching operations are performed online. Patching operations are carried out while the application are in use and users are online. Patching is performed using the new ADOP utility, requires a very short downtime, requires no maintenance mode. All right. So here, I mean, as I said, it's online. The name itself is telling like it's online patching. Okay. So this is, the majority of the operation performed online. See, there is a cycle basically. Okay, so in that cycle, some five options are there, and in those five options, only one option is required: the downtime. Okay, suppose there is a mini pack. Okay, so there is a mini pack which will take some 3 to 4 hours, let's say. So in the earlier versions, you need to bring down the services for all the 5 hours. Okay, and we enable the maintenance mode, apply the patch for 5 hours, and disable the maintenance mode and bring up the services. So during those 5 hours, all the phases you need to bring down the services. The application will not be available for any of the user. Okay. So, but here in this feature, like in 12.2 online patching, okay, there are steps are there. In that, only one step, okay, which is called integration part. In that particular step, only we will be bringing down the services and restart. So that would take maximum 50 to 20 minutes. Say, okay, so I mean, you can save 2.5 hours downtime. Okay, and also you don't need to enable the maintenance mode. I mean, there is no maintenance mode concept itself in 12.2. Okay, so and all these actions, I mean, patching will be happened in the other side, and the another side, the application will be up and running, and users can access the machine and all. So they don't even know what's happening back end. Okay, some patch is going on or something else is going on. I mean, something else is going on. That and all, user definitely he won't be aware of that. Okay, so he will be utilizing the application as usual. Okay, only at the time of integration part. That's with here in this terminology we'll call it the cutover part. So at the time of cutover the patch, the cutover is nothing but the integrating the file system, one file system to another file system, which we will be discussing later. Okay, during that part only, this this downtime is required, and apart from that, no downtime is required. Okay, you see, online patching consists the cycles of related steps. A copy made of the code of the running system that resides in the both the file system database. Patches are applied to the copy while users continue the access to running system. The copy becomes the new running system. The original running system is obsoleted, recycling for the future patching cycle. Okay, so yeah, cut over. It won't take much time. Okay, it will be some 15 to 20 minutes, and again depends on the patch. Also, it vary little. Okay, so if it is a small patches and all, the 2 MB patch or 10 MB patch, within no time it would be finishing. And if it is a family pack or mini pack or something, it will take little time. Okay, but 25% of what exactly the patch time. Suppose 1 hour, if a patch required, okay, to apply in that, 15 minutes only it will take. Okay, if it is a 10 hours and I mean 2.5 hours, something like that. All right. So here, what's I mean, as you know, in the file system, you would be seeing FS1 and FS2. Okay, so FS1 is the file system one, and FS2 is the file system two. So whenever you are accessing the application, FS1 will be accessed to the customer all the time. Okay, so see, at the time of installation, also you would have seen FS1 will have file system one port number, file system two port number, two port numbers you would be providing. Okay, so means, I mean, when you fetch the URL, okay, that would be showing the file system one port number. Okay, so when you access, customer will be accessing the file system one port and the related file system and that. Okay, so FS2 is there only for maintenance part. Okay, so the basically the fresh installation. FS1 and FS2 both the file system are same. Okay, so if you look into the architectural diagram of file system, the same file system architecture, same folder structure, same subfolder structure, everything will be same basically. Okay, so when you are accessing FS1, FS2 is always free, and it will be idle basically. So you would be applying the whatever patch you want to apply, that you would be applying to the FS2, and then you would be integrating the FS2 to the FS1. That's how the system will be there. And there are some options in that. So ADOP is having some modes actually. Those modes and all in the next slides you will be seeing. See, basically, files is a very simple concept. It is okay. FS1 and FS2, two parallel file systems are there, and both are up to date always. Okay, so FS1 will be accessed by the customer all the time. FS2 will be idle, and that's only for maintenance part. Okay, so whenever you perform any patching and ADOP patch, utility will be applying the patch to the FS1, FS2 file system, and in one certain stage is the cutover stage. The FS2, whatever changes happen to the application, that file system that would be integrated to the FS1. During that time, we will be bringing down the services. Okay, so that is what here it is. I mean, is explaining. Okay, so file system FS1 production file system. FS2 is the copy of the production file system, and FS underscore NE is the non-edition file system. Okay, so production file system and copy of the production file system. FS2 is always a copy. Okay, whatever activity you are performing, and that will be going to the FS2 only. Okay, and the later part you will be integrating here. The database, there is a concept called edition based redefinition. Okay, so every table will have the edition table. Every means, so every major object contains the edition object. There is a parallel schemas will be there in the database side also. Okay, so whenever you apply a patch, to the file system too, the again the database side, the actual tables will not be updated. Let's say, I mean, there is a patch which will be creating a table and creating the creating the some indexes or inserting some seeded data or some activity like this, in any patch. So when you apply the patch, and that would, okay, file system wise, whatever files need to be, maybe SQL files and all, copy person will be copying the SQL file to some certain specified location, and the database portion will be executing that SQL file, and generation portion, if any generation things like and if it is also copied a form or report, it will regenerate the form and report. So that part will be taken care by generator. So, I mean, as you know, the new file will be copied to the FS2, and when you execute, it will not affect the exact table, first itself. Okay. So during that time, the addition table means the copy of the other tables will be there. I mean, the major tables will be there. Those addition tables will be updated, and at the same time, in the cutover time, the addition table file system, the addition table data will be integrated to the actual tables. Okay, here there is another benefit. That benefit is earlier, as I said, when you apply any application patch, there is no chance of rolling back like database. Okay, here you have a feature called cleanup. Okay, there is a one method called cleanup. So whenever you clean up that, the file system will be cleaned from the file system FS2, and the data will be rolled back from the edition table. So that feature is also there for us. Okay, so by using a cleanup method, you can roll it back. All right. So if you see the dual file system architecture, you have already seen this FS1 and FS2 and FS underscore NE. Repeat the cleanup. Just hang on, please. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sorry, guys. Yeah, repeat the cleanup. Cleanup is nothing but, it's just something like a rolling back in the application. See, the earlier, if you remember, I said application cannot be rolled back. Only database patches can be rolled back, and application patches cannot be rolled back. AD patches, I say. AD patches you can't roll back, and if you want to roll it back, there is only one option is just restoring to the previous version. Okay, so the latest backup. Okay, but in R12, 12.2, there is a concept called cleanup. Okay, so suppose you in the FS2 you applied the patch. Okay, and the database side changes has been happened, and the application side changes has been happened. Application in the sense FS2 side changes will happen. Changes happened already. Okay, so if you feel like this patch is not feasible, or this patch is by mistake you have applied that, there is a concept called cleanup. without cutover option. Okay, if you when you say cutover, then only it will be applied to the FS1 basically, and the major tables will be updated. But if you don't use the cutover, that will not touch the FS1 file system on the database. Okay, so it will be only on FS2 and the addition table. Okay, the data will be there in the updated data will be there in the addition table, and the file system updated file system will be on FS2. Okay, so there is a concept called cleanup. When you do the cleanup, the file system will be deleted from the FS2, and the file system, the whatever data updated, that will be rolled back from the addition table. Okay, it is as good as rolling back, but once you perform the cutover, there is no chance of rolling back. Okay, even if you clean up, nothing will be happen. So you need to take a decision before cutover itself. Okay. See, I'm keep on using this cutover, clean up, and apply mode. This and all I'm using, right? So those and all is the features of ADOP utility, and those are the parameters basically. So each parameter is having their own significance, and that and all we are going to discuss later in this chapter itself. For next slides, you would be seeing. Okay. So this file system, right? Just for the information. I mean, how exactly it is going and all. They have added these slides here. All right. Right. So this is also like FS1 e-business apps, INST, Fusion Middleware Home, e-business apps, INST, Fusion Middleware Home, FS2, and this is the edition file system. So environment variable, say running file system it is, and patch file system it is. Okay. So if you see run mode and patch mode, okay, in the AD patch, the ADOP utilities will have two options like run option and patch option. So run option, run base will be the FS1. Run base will be this one, and patch base will be this one. Okay, and the patch side, okay, NE side, just the file system how it will be and all it is showing here. There are some environment variables you can see with this environment variable. Okay, happy top of run is so and so, happy top of patch. See, whenever you are initiating the environment variable, you can provide run and patch as a parameter. Okay, so EBS apps.env बोलके there is one environment file will be there, and you can always execute that environment file to source it. Okay. So if you don't provide any of the parameter, by default it will be taking the run mode. Okay. So if you want to, I mean, before performing the patch and all, that environment with the patch mode. Okay. So if you provide the patch as a parameter, it will be set here, and whenever you apply the patch, that will be applied on this. Okay, so I will be showing you at the time of practice, so how exactly, what is the difference between this and this, and when you source the environment in run mode. Okay, when you say run base, you would be seeing this, and when you source the environment with the patch mode, when you say run base, you would be seeing like this and then I will show you as part of practice. Okay, so run file system, patch file system, NE, and application. This is application pair and the database. Okay, so this guys is talking about edition based redefinition. Okay, so have a multiple copies of application code. Okay, create a new edition as a child of an existing edition. Make the changes in the child edition while parent edition remains available for use. Okay, so as I said, the edition tables. Okay, edition tables concept is introduced here again. Okay, so you won't be seeing these edition tables and all in 12.1 and the prior version. So it's a parallel objects. Okay, so it is something similar to the original objects. These are parallelly they will be maintaining these. Okay, so multiple copies of the application code. Okay, the packages or package body or triggers or stored procedures or functions or the other objects. These and all will be maintained separately. Okay, so these are the simple copies of the application code. Okay, so whenever changes happened, okay, this is called child object, and whenever you perform any of the operations, first it will be applied to the child only, and the parent is always like it's a actual object, and which will be used by the customer. Okay, so these child objects and all will call as a addition object. three types of edition: run edition, patch edition, and old edition. Okay, run edition used by the online users, patch edition used by the patch utilities, and old edition you can connect to the old edition. This edition is just for the back, just for the for that activity only. Okay, it's not being used by anybody. Okay, so it will be discarded whenever you clean up. I mean, whenever you perform the cleanup. Yes. So edition and the non-edition objects. The edition object is the code object supporting by the editioning, and the database automatically manages the multiple copies of these objects during the patch cycle. And non-edition is the storage objects do not support editioning, and online patching uses advanced features of EBR to manage these objects during the patch cycle. Okay. So the edition objects is the code objects supporting the editioning, and editioning is nothing but the online patching. Okay, at the time of online patching, what and all objects is being used as part of this ADOP. Those and all additional editioned objects. Okay, non-edition objects is the storage objects do not support editing. Okay, so those are the different type who and all doesn't have this. The child objects, so those and all will call as a non-edition object. Okay, so appended table, third party code, custom code, appended tables, and appended table edition. Simple. It will be copying it will be maintaining the parallel objects. Okay, so that's what you're saying. Appended tables will be there, and at the same appended tables, edition view also will be there. Okay, it's a kind of synonyms. And apps holds the synonyms only, right? The synonyms will be under apps, and always there is a connectivity between Apple's and the apps, because this is the another carbon copy of object means. As I said, the apps doesn't own any objects. It will have the access to the each and every object. Means it will have some synonyms and all, and it will be connecting whenever you are means from apps user you can connect any of the object and you can perform. Okay, you can perform any of the operations, as I said. So from objects, you can connect it to the Apple sys, because the apps and the Apple sys both the passwords will be safe. Okay, so it contains this custom code, the third party code, Oracle business code, and all. So simple example it has given how the file system, it's just pure copy only. Okay, so it's a parallel, just the naming convention is different and the schema is different. You see that copy will be maintained here. Yep, this is the major thing basically. The online patch cycle. There are five main phases are there. Okay, so as I'm saying, the options is not options, is you can call as a phase. There are five phases are there. Okay, so this is where the major difference between the previous versions and the current version. So the first one is prepare. Okay, second one is apply. Third one is finalize. Okay, fourth one is the cut over, and the cleanup is removing the obsolete objects. Okay, so these are the phases when you would be applying, and you can apply by using ADOP utility. You will be passing. Okay, the phase equal to prepare, it will prepare. Okay, phase equal to apply, you can give. Phase equal to finalize, you can give. Phase equal to cut over, you can give. Phase equal to that cleanup, you can give. Okay, and there is a feature we got. You can give all together once. Okay, so like prepare comma, apply comma, finalize comma, cut over comma, cleanup means suppose it's a non-production instance, and you don't need I mean nobody is using that machine, and you can bring down the services. So simply you can bring down the services and you can give all the pages at a time, and it will be applying an FS2, and that will be copied to the FS1, and then clean up. Everything will be doing in one shot. Okay. Okay. So you can prepare it, you can apply, you can finalize. Okay, till this time you can abort it. Okay, so there is a feature called abort. It means once you do the cutover, you are done. Okay, so once you do the cutover, that will be applied to the major file system, which cannot be restored. So phase one, prepare. Okay, the following actions will be okay. If you see here, yeah, roughly you can see you make a in the prepare section. Okay, you can make a copy of the production application code. Apply one or more patches to the copy. Okay, and finalize the copy, compile invalid objects, and generate the derived objects, and cut over, shut down the production application, perform the maintenance operations, restart the application platform, and clean up, remove the obsolete. Okay, the just introduction. Okay, if you see here, prepare phase one is prepare. The following actions is taken care in this phase. Okay. The patches file system is synchronized with the run file system. The patch edition file become an exact copy of the run. It will make sure that this prepare, it will make sure that, source, I mean, FS1 and FS2 both are in sync. Okay, and the database side, a patch edition is created in the database. All the code objects in the patch edition being as pointed to the code objects in the run edition. So the database side preparation, it will make sure, okay, whether it is really in sync with the file system or not in the database side, and the application side objects why is it in sync or not. That kind of, if it is not sync, okay, making it sync, making it to the same level. That part and all will be doing by the prepared option. Okay. Next, apply. The patches are applied to the copy system. Okay, the changes introduced into the patch made into the isolated of the edition. Okay, so as I said, there are three database side three. One is actual file system, and another one is edition file system, and another one is the obsolete file system. These three will be there, right? That obsolete, the set of objects and all the changes, everything will be added to the obsolete also. Okay, means whenever you are cleaning up the data, it should have some information what to clean up and all, right? So the information will be passing to that to the obsolete the object level also. Okay, means the database side also. The patches will be applied to the, I mean, the edition, patch edition, and changes introduced by the patches are made. Okay, what and all changes happen to the patch and all will be added to the isolation of the patch edition. That's the third option. Okay, next to finalize. The following actions means DDL is prepared and computed in the on the readiness to be run the cutover. Okay, delivered the objects are generated and invalid objects will be compiled here. Okay, so these and all, these and all will be happened in the exactly on FS2 file system and the edition objects. Okay, there the invalid objects verification, the DDL's preparation, that ready to execute, everything will be get ready at that side. And the next phase, whenever you cut over this, everything will be applied on the FS1 and the actual tables. So avoiding the patch cycle before it complete, rolling back the changes have been made. This I mean, till this level, till the finalize, you have a feature you can abort the system. Okay, means abort the action basically. So whenever you abort, and everything will, even in the non-edition side also, everything will be cleaned up. It's as good as rolling back. So cutover, it's a user log. Okay, so here in this place, you have to bring down the services, and I mean, users have logged off the system, means it's bringing down the application only, and the patch will become the run file system, and the previous run file system now takes the role of the patch, and it is as good as in applying those what are the changes happen to the FS2 file system, and the database side what are the changes happen to the edition tables that will be applied into the exact I mean actual file system and ready for use basically. Okay. The cleanup, there are no file system action in the file system database side code objects. So there's a cleanup in the sense, I mean, the following actions in space. Okay, so mainly the cleanup action will be, it is something like, it will what are the, I mean, the third phase in the database side, the obsolete schema objects, I mean, the changes, everything is recorded in that particular system, right? That will be cleaned up completely. Okay, there are no file system action during the cleanup. Okay, file system code objects that were patched in the most recent patching cycle deleted the old editions. Okay, see data from the old edition. Okay, it's I mean, in the database side, as I showed, three stages. In the third stage will be cleaned up clear. Okay, so hopefully you got some idea about this ADOP and its features and its options. In the next session, we will be using how to make use of the ADOP utility, and while while discussing about this utility, we'll also see the practice. Okay, I'll download one or two patches here and we'll see. phase equal to like this, you would be giving ADOP phase equal to prepare, phase equal to cut over, phase equal to something. You need to give like this. So ADOP like this, or ADOP phase equal to, you can give everything collectively. Okay. So this and all we will see basically. Hmm. You should be okay. Fine. So tomorrow, okay, before going to start this patching practice, we have some leftover practice sessions. First we will be executing them, and then we will jump into it. Okay, we will execute one patch and step by step. Step by step we will execute, and another patch I will download, and that we will collectively we will execute that. Yeah, so, yeah, that's okay. That's all for the day today. See, this is a chapter basically before the 12.1 and all. If you see there, I have shared you one document, right? It's a normal chapter along with the AD utility. Okay. In 12.2, they have given a guide completely. This complete guide totally belongs to the patching. We may not need to go through the whole guide and all. Okay, so I'll review it again and what and all required. That part will be going. Because the entire guide is belongs to patching only. So I'll see what and all is really required. That part only we'll be discussing here and practicing. The rest all just for your information anyway. I'm giving the guide also, right. So, yeah, okay. So let's see. I mean, I'll see you tomorrow. And first, initially, we will practice on the leftover topics, and then we'll move to this. Probably tomorrow, I think the auto config and all, it will take very good time. So tomorrow we'll be practicing the leftover stuff, and the day after tomorrow only we will be applying the patch. Okay. Once we are done with one applying the patch and all, then you will get a more idea about what is happening and all, and then we can discuss the further topics. Okay. See you tomorrow.